Hey, folks. Here we are, 6 days, the sixth day into the new year 2024. Doesn't seem possible, does it? Where has time gone? Christmas flew by, New Year's has gone by, and uh, and here we are in a new year beginning. And already there may be challenges that you're facing, and you can be sure that the new year will really put us face to face with many different decisions that really could affect our whole life and beyond, and many challenges. And there may be, some very perplexing things that in our lives and in those around us, which we can't be distant from it. We were affected by it too. And it's times like that when we need wisdom to go in the right direction, and much like a compass to keep us on track, like guidance in the woods of life. And I always think of woods as, sometimes unknown and you don't know which way to go. Well, that's kind of like what happened to me one time. And my family and I were hiking through trails in the Mayaca National Forest in Florida. That's near Sarasota, if you're not acquainted. We were somewhere in the middle of it, but we weren't sure which way to get back to the base at the beginning. We had done our hiking and we decided we want to get back. We want to go home. And so we didn't know what we were going to do. I think we stopped and prayed. I don't know. But anyway, a dog appeared that we remembered seeing at the base. And it was a very friendly dog. It came up to us when we got out of our car and everything. And so we thought, well, maybe we should follow the dog. It might be heading back to the base. Well, so we followed it. And sure enough, he led us right to the base. We could have had a map and compass, but would we make it back to our vehicle? I don't know. Maybe, but maybe not too. But we had a guide instead, a sure way back. Thank God for that dog. Well, more than 2,000 years ago, some prominent men in the Middle East, known as Magi, they were people that studied the stars, the scriptures, and they were very knowledgeable people. And they followed a star which they believed would lead them to a future king. They had studied it and they saw it, and they said, this is it. Well, Matthew's gospel tells us about it. And I'd like to read that, Matthew chapter 2, starting with verse 1. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked. When King Herod heard this, he was asked where they were going, and they told him. And when Herod heard this, he was disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. When he had called together all the people's chief priests and teachers of the law, he asked them where the Messiah was to be born. He sort of knew it was the Messiah. They didn't necessarily say it was a Messiah. In Bethlehem in Judea, they replied, for this is what the prophet has written. But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel. And then Herod called the Magi secretly and found out from them the exact time the star had appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search carefully for the child. As soon as you find him, report to me so that I too may go and worship him. After they had heard the king, they went on their way, and the star they had seen when it rose went ahead of them until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star stop, they were overjoyed. On coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother, Mary, and they bowed down and worshiped him. Then they opened their treasures and presented him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, they returned to their country by another route. Well, all the hymns and songs that we sing in the churches today about the event, and many churches celebrate the feast of Epiphany, which is really a celebration or a remembrance of the Magi finding Jesus, and it really, a lot of these songs refer to them as kings, and but they followed what they believed to be a star. I don't think it was a regular star, but it looked like a star, certainly. That's my personal opinion. Don't get upset. And as men who study the heavens for signs, they saw it would almost be like a shooting star in a way, except that excuse me, that star moved. And they saw it, and they decided to follow it. They were determined, and they believed it would take them to Bethlehem. And by the time they arrived, Mary and Joseph were living with the newborn Messiah Jesus in a home somewhere in Bethlehem, no longer in the stable by that time. Of course, that again is often has kings depicted at the manger scene. I hate to ruin your picture of it. It's okay to do that, but we need to have pictures. Well, it was there that they gave gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh for the Christ child, and such gifts would be given to a king in that day. And they also have a spiritual meaning, such as gold being symbol of an earthly kingship, frankincense as a symbol of deity, which Jesus certainly was. He was, excuse me, got a tickle in my throat. Jesus was the Son of God, and myrrh as a symbol of death. All of these symbolize Christ himself as the King of Kings of heaven and earth. And a prophetic meaning of the myrrh really was a foreshadowing of his death on the cross for our redemption from sin. You see, he went all the way to the cross. He didn't just have a happy ending to his life. He was judged as a criminal, even though he was totally innocent, totally sinless, and pure and holy and righteous. And so you see, they really had no doubt at all that he would be a king someday, unlike no other. Because as the passage states, they asked themselves, where is the one who has been born of the Jews? We saw this star when it rose and have come to worship him. Yes. Well, they obviously had studied the scriptures, and because they noted that a prophet or one of the prophets in the Bible, and the name wasn't mentioned in that passage, but it revealed that this king would be born in Bethlehem of Judea and would lead the people of Israel. Well, Herod himself referred to the child as the Messiah, as I said, and the people were waiting. That was what the people were waiting for, the Messiah. And some of them are still waiting because they don't